It's like any fire. A fire has to be continuously given fuel. You can't just start out with a fire and think that you're going to make that journey and keep on going along the way. Your fire has to be given fuel. You got to tell yourself, no matter how hard it is, that you won't quit. You can't turn back. You got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Because again, success holds that life that you desire. You grow by walking through the fire, not avoiding it. But let me tell you something. Success doesn't care how you feel. It only matters whether you show up and you don't stop. You got to force yourself to keep going. That's where your transformation begins. You got to learn how to push past that complacency, those excuses that you give in life. You got to be tired of starting over, and you got to learn how to finish in life. You got to have the decision to keep going in life. You can't start two roads unless you start on one road. You got to go towards your dreams that you haven't realized yet. You got to go towards goals you haven't achieved in a version of you that has not been born yet. On your road, you'll find people who tell you to stay where you are, play it safe, but that's not where people who are challenging, people who are motivated, people who are successful, that's not where they live. That's the path of potential progress that you're going. Every person that has strived, everyone that's failed and strived again has always had the will to push forward despite their fear. You look at Abraham Lincoln. He was always a person that had to overcome certain defeats, jobs that he lost, loved ones that he lost. Many times he was told no, but again, he did not let those defeats define him. He kept moving. It's not only the only person that's there. Every person that's been successful has had a trail of hardships, including myself, behind them. Anytime an empire has been built, anytime success has been built, there are people who have always had more work and hardships that they've had endless nights over that led to success that you can see now. You got to tell yourself, no matter how hard it is, that you won't quit. You can't turn back. You got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Because again, success holds that life that you desire. You grow by walking through the fire, not avoiding it. You have to erase rejection. You have to get up every time you're knocked down. Every time that you face hardships, that is the trainer. That is what is getting you ready for success. That is what's getting you ready for the hardship after you become successful. You have to decide, though, today that you're deciding that you're going to be taking a step forward in life. You can't be too broken that you're afraid to try to achieve something in life. You got a chance to rise right now to do something. Leave behind that life that you don't deserve and a life that you do deserve that's infinitely more in return of success and all the things that you want, and your happiness lies there. You are the only one that believes in you. It's not for everyone else to sign up to your belief. It's called your belief. Belief is the belief in oneself. But you got to start today. Your purpose needs to be the fuel that powers you through your journey. When everyone else says stop, purpose whispers in your ear, say, go, let's keep going. Let's not quit. Let's not defeat ourselves right now. Keep on moving. Keep on pressing. I know you're tired, but you got to keep on striving. I know you're sad. I know you're scared, but you got to keep on moving. You got to keep on trying, because defeat is not an option. Yeah, you're going to face hatred. You're going to face people who think they think that you think you're better than them. And the only difference why they think that is because you put in the work, because you have the outcome, that the success they desire, because they didn't believe it within themselves and you believed it and put in the work. You have that power within you to make a change, but you got to summon it. You got to ask yourself, what are you passionate about? What is the problem that burns in your soul? And what legacy do you want to leave behind? What mark do you want to make in this world? You can't settle for vague goals or dreams. You got to be honest with yourself. Once you find that answer, you got to write that down. Not just in your mind, but you got to put it in your heart. Any place where you can see it, you want to write it down. Put it somewhere where you can see it, in your bathroom mirror. Whenever you have doubt, you got to return to that and make sure that you stay on that mission. It's like any fire. A fire has to be continuously given fuel. You can't just start out with a fire and think that you're going to make that journey and keep on going along the way. Your fire has to be given fuel. You've got to put in effort, put in work to feed that fire, to keep that fire hot. Yeah, I told my daughter the same thing. Many times when you start a journey, the middle part of the journey, and people see me do videos on this before, the middle part of the journey is always the roughest. You know why? Because it's no longer fun anymore. And if you don't give your fire fuel, your journey will burn out and you will run out of steam. You will run out of motivation. You will run out of inspiration. You have to constantly surround yourself with people that will inspire you. People that will give you more fuel for the fire, that are going in the same direction. You know why? Because they're also in a place getting wood for their fire. You got to go where the people are chopping down wood to fuel their fire, so you can get the same fuel to fuel your fire. You got to ask the questions and dig within yourself and find out that answer. You got to let that purpose pull you forward step by step, day by day. The thing that you imagine to be successful in your life will be the life you actually live. And I'm living proof of that. In fact, I'm living proof that I've actually living a life that I never thought I could live, because I got more than what I thought was going to be an outcome. I knew I wanted to be successful. I knew I wanted to do a land business. I knew I wanted to make some money, but I didn't know I was going to make this much money. I knew I wanted to be married. I knew marriage was going to be hard, but I didn't think that I would be in this marriage, in this success. I wanted children. I wanted them to be smart, but I didn't think they would skip a grade. I didn't think I would do it not once, not twice, but 3 times with 2 kids. History shows us what's become possible when you have vision. Take example, the moon landing, right? The moon landing wasn't done with one leap. It wasn't done with one trip. It wasn't done with one shuttle. It was a process of many successes, many failures that had to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, we got to do this better. Why did we fail? What did we do wrong? What did we do right? And take notes and then keep on improving on that. These are things that people wrote down. They didn't just talk about it. They actually were analyzing, and they were more critical of the successes and failures they had along the way. And they thought about how they were going to do it different. What am I going to do tomorrow? What am I going to change? What am I not going to do the same? I need clarity and direction. You need to be focused, but you can't do that if your goal is too vague. If you don't know what you're searching for and striving for, and if you don't have a plan to lay out a path for success and achievement, and also you need to also look at whether you are on the right path for your goal or not. But a lot of times people don't do that. They don't evaluate their progress, their journey. They don't look at and keep a track record of what they've been doing. They don't have structure. When your goals are clear, your actions will follow. You actually will have a better path towards your journey, because you'll actually have clear goals. And that's the problem. When you don't have clear goals, you're always going to be moving from one place to the other. It's not about being perfect. It's about being committed, showing up day after day, step by step, until your life begins to reflect what you are actually envisioning. You got to dream big, but you got to start small. You got to be relentless, and you got to refuse to quit in life. This becomes your destination. It is a path that you are on that you cannot get off. I told my father one time, my train makes stops, but it doesn't stop. It'll make stops. It'll stop and pick people up. It'll stop and drop people off. Sometimes I'm with people for a season. Sometimes I'm with people for a reason. But again, my train keeps going. It will not stop for you, but it will make a stop for you to get on. And it will also stop to take your ass off. You got to have an unwavering relentlessness about, and an obsession, a fanaticism about your success. If you can't do that, then you are only giving yourself partial, a part of the actual energy that's needed to become successful. You got to actually have the will to say, I'm crazy enough to believe in myself in a way that people define as obsessive. You got to be obsessed with your success. I told my daughter the other day, every chance I get when I'm not spending time with my family, I'm working on my path, my progress. I'm working on my trade. I'm working on how to get better in videos, how to make better thumbnails, how to research this, how to research that. I'm always learning. I'm never going to sit here and say that I'm done. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep on moving, to keep on striving, to keep on trying to be successful. And again, I make these videos so that way you could have some inspiration to know that you're not with somebody, listening to somebody who's talking about it. You're with somebody who's actually walking the steps, who's tired, just getting off of work, 12-hour shifts, going to go to the gym, going to take my kids to camp. And then after that, I'm going to put some work in to edit this video and make sure it can inspire you. Now, I don't know what day it is when you find this video. I don't know what mood you in when you listen and watch, or even if you watch or you listen, it doesn't matter. But when you find this video, you understand that I'm tired. I've got excuses on why I can't. I've got excuses on why I should quit. I've got excuses why I should take a day off. I got an excuse to say, well, yeah, it's not that important to make this video right now. But again, I'm right in front of you. I'm putting in the work. And if I'm doing it, then you got to put in the work. You got to listen to this and say, hey, this is going to inspire me to get something done today. This is going to inspire me to make a change. This is going to inspire me to go ahead and get my goals a little bit clearer. This is going to get me out of my negative thinking, or getting out of the mindset of these people who think I can't do, who tell me I can't do, who doubt I can't do it. I got a friend of mine, Chris Davis. Shout out to him. Now, he is my age and he just became a doctor. Now, he's been to school. He told me the other day we talked. He said, I had to let microbiology go. He had to let go degrees and a career path that he already had set for him. He graduated a year after I graduated. But again, his journey now was beset with people who had doubt. People who actually thought maybe he couldn't do it. And I've talked with him along the way. And I said the only thing I wasn't sure of was whether or not you were going to let them doubts penetrate you to the point that made you think you could not do it. But there was never a doubt in my mind that you couldn't do it. I knew you could do it. But again, the only thing I doubted was whether you would let that infiltrate you and take you off your path. That's the only doubt I have in you listening right now, is would you let your doubt, the doubt of others, the validation that you're seeking from others, be the thing to keep you from achieving your destiny? The thing that keep you from being obsessed about your success. You know why people can tell you you can't do it? Because they're not obsessed with your success. They're not obsessed with your journey. Because if you don't make it, who cares? If you don't make it, what does it affect them? If you don't make it, it doesn't matter. If you don't make it, it doesn't cost them a thing. If you're broke, great. It doesn't cost them a thing. What they don't have to do is when you make money is pay the cost of what you can now afford. Think about that. When your lifestyle increases and you get more money in your life and you want to go somewhere, they either can go because they got to pay, put it on credit, but they may not have the money to afford it. So that means, again, you got to get a better set of friends. People that say, yeah, let's do it. That's not a problem. I'm not interested in the price. What I'm trying to tell you right now, success is something that you have to desire, and you can't let other people's validation, you can't let other people's participation, their presentation be the thing to let you decide on whether you want to be involved or you are dedicated to your success, whether you are dedicated to winning, whether you need to be working harder. You need to know that their presence, their attitude, their presentation, their participation is irrelevant to your success. I told that to my own wife. Whether she wants to, I told her that when we were dating. I said, you either get on board or you get out of the way. That's the only thing you can do, but do not get in my way. And that lets her know how serious I am to my success, to what would be our success. But again, you got to make sure that they understand your determination. They understand that you're serious. They understand that you're not playing around. They understand that you mean it. And when you mean it, they'll understand and they'll take you seriously. If they don't take you seriously, then again, you're not serious enough about your success. And that's what you got to do. Now, Phil Davis, Ancestry Lands. I hope you liked this video and you watched and learned something. I hope you've been inspired, motivated, and you've been educated on what you need to do to move forward. Now, I am going to get my behind in the gym and get this workout on, however little or big it may be, but I'm getting something done. Every little bit builds towards tomorrow, and you got to make sure you have the same attitude, all right? Be inspired, be motivated, but be dedicated. Phil Davis, Ancestry Lands. Make sure you stay at the end of this video to hear about my book and how you can own property and get your financial situation under control and get some land under your ownership, all right? Phil Davis, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace. That's it, folks. You can go to Ancestry Lands to start owning property today with payments starting at $250 a month, no credit checks, and owning land has never been easier. It's time to build your land portfolio one property at a time. We help you to get dollars from dirt and build generational wealth by owning small plots of affordable vacant land. Contact us to learn more. Oh, and speaking of dollars from dirt, I also wrote a book about investing in land for you readers out there. My book, Getting Dollars from Dirt, A Beginner's Guide to Vacant Land Investing, is on Amazon. The link is in the description section below. Inside, you'll learn simple, easy to read insights that will have you understanding why you should own land today. For more tips and tricks, subscribe for updates, comment below, and let us know what you enjoyed about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
And remember, like and subscribe.